wherever you are. Let's get our, that's right. Go this way.
Whichever direction you want to go. You want to throw it out? You want to
throw it out, bring it in, whatever.
On that note, hi everybody. Welcome back to Sanctum Stitching, where modern meets vintage. I'm Fawn.
I'm Marianne.
And this is episode 31. I almost said 30, but I caught myself. As always, we are so happy to have you back with us. We have, looking around, I know I have quite a bit to share. I went on a little bit of an excursion because I had one day off, so that was fun. Yeah, so let's just jump into it. Marianne, what are you celebrating this week?
I'm celebrating that I have taken the dogs for a walk twice. Once on Friday last week, and today we went for a walk.
Oh, look at you go.
I know. Yesterday I did physical therapy and I was lazy Saturday and Sunday, but Sunday the weather wasn't too great. But we went out today and it was absolutely beautiful. About 11 o'clock, nary a cloud in the sky, beautiful blue sky. And I think I didn't clock it like I should as far as, distance, but we went all the way up Lynn Park and then part way down Macklin and back and back. So going up and down Lynn Park is almost half a mile. So once you throw that little bit of Macklin in and back again, I'd say maybe three-thirds of a mile, something like that. But I only had to stop a few times. Say, y'all, mama's got to get her breath. Wait a minute.
Well, if you keep it up, it'll just get easier, Yeah,
and they just love it. They love it.
Oh, I'm sure.
Oh, they do. They still remember. Roscoe does better than Brian does. They still remember what heel means. I trained Roscoe and Joe trained Brian. And Roscoe knows when I say heel, Roscoe, he comes back a little bit. Not for long, but he does come back.
He tries.
Yes, he tries, and we do get the leashes, caught up in each other. They just wind around, but then I just unwind. But no, it was just so beautiful out, and I was glad we did it. So,
yeah, they have those leash attachments where it's like you split it by two dogs. That's one leash, and then you have one to one. Yeah. That would be really funny to watch them walking around like that.
We have a neighbor that did do that with two of his dogs. They live over on Valley Brook. But the one thing I think I can better control them this way. I've mentioned that to Joe, and I got to look like, well, I don't think so. And,
good luck.
Yeah, we have used, at one time we used one of those leashes that you can extend it, for Wolfie, and that way they could walk several feet. But these two, I really want the real tight control. I don't mind that they twist their leashes around because that does keep them closer to me, kind of. Mm-hmm. But I've thought about the other. You're right. I think maybe one of these days I'll give it a try. They also had baths last week, so I'm celebrating that. Oh. They're all nice and clean and white and shaved.
Yeah, I was gonna say Roscoe behind you is very white.
And he looked good. Yeah, and he's not got a lot of hair. He's still cranky, but they did get all groomed up, so we're real happy for that too, because it had been 3 months. We had to change him. Yeah. So my pups are looking good there.
Yeah, let's see. So what am I celebrating? Celebrating the weather, because in Ohio it is very, very nice. We had a couple days of rain, but I also like the rain. Kind of makes my head hurt, but it also is really nice to just sit and stitch and look outside and listen to it. I'm also celebrating at Kroger, so our local grocery store. They had bouquets of flowers for 99 cents a piece at the clearance section. So I got 4 of them and really filled it up. I keep having to move them around because my cat thinks about looking at them. He never actually goes to them, but I also don't want to keep putting them in the same spot and have him be like, oh, well, what's over there? So I move them around a little bit. So that's today's location.
Good for you and smart Wally. Fritzy would have had them knocked over for you already.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah. They would have already been knocked over.
Exactly. And I mean, it's kind of hard. It's hard to buy flowers when you have a cat too, because it seems like, as my husband puts it, he doesn't know how cats survive in the wild because everything is out to kill them.
Yes. Yeah.
And so every bouquet that you get, it's like, okay, well, I can't get this one because 3 of these flowers are bad for my cat, but then I really want this one, but one of those flowers is bad for my cat too. So like I didn't know tulips were bad for cats. And then I went to get a bunch and I was like, well, let me look it up because everything's trying to kill my cat. And tulips aren't good for them. So I didn't realize that. I knew the lilies were.
Yeah, well, we buy, if Joe brings home flowers, if they're a mixture, sometimes we just go in and put them in a vase and hope that Fritz doesn't discover it. He's more interested in tipping it to see the water fall out. He wants to see, is there water in this thing? Can I tip it over? We had my cat, it was Boosie, I think. Yeah, Boosie ate half of a poinsettia one year at
Oh
Christmas
gosh.
time. I took it down to Joe's apartment just so the rest of it would survive. She was eating, but see, it's not the leaves that hurt them, it's the milk.
Oh,
And
okay.
so she was eating all the leaves off of this really pretty poinsettia plant. I said,
I'm glad she was okay.
didn't know. Lucy lived to be 12 years old, something like that. She wound up with cancer eventually, poor little thing. But she was having the best time with that poinsettia. I was like,
Good.
I'm gonna kill you. If the plant doesn't, I'm going to.
Yeah, I think like roses are fine, and carnations are fine. It's just, like the really pretty ones that they look a little different. And you're like, oh, that's gonna kill my cat.
Well, I'm glad you're considerate of that. I think that's good. Plus, Wally's a nice kitty.
Yeah. Oh my God, I would be devastated. You wouldn't see me for months.
I know.
Well, he's like, I was talking to my mother-in-law about this the other day. If and when I have to go back to work in person, I don't know how Wally's going to cope with it because he follows me literally everywhere. I took a shower today, like right before, you can see my hair's wet, and he was between the 2 shower curtains, and our inner shower curtain is clear. So he's literally sitting on the edge of the tub watching me take a shower because he's that obsessed with me and couldn't let me out of his sight. He couldn't even just sit in the bathroom, like on the rug or on the toilet. He had to get in on the edge of the tub, sit there and stare at me. It's like, well, excuse me, I'm having a moment, please.
I told you, I think, Jill is also known as C.R. Larkin's nanny. She used to come and sit with my cat, C.R. Larkin. She would spend the night with him. So one time I was gone for about 4 days, and she said she was in the bathroom showering, and she felt these eyes on her. And she turned around, and there was CR looking around the shower curtain like, where are you, Jill?
Exactly, just obsessed.
And she would say, come talk to Marianne, and he wouldn't come. And I've told her, I said, Jill, he knows me as Mama. So she said, well, come talk to Mama. And so then he came over to the phone and I could talk to him, but he wouldn't come for Marianne. Who's Marianne?
I don't know that lady.
I love that Wally's got his eyes on. Yeah, you might have to put on like some classical music or something for him.
Yeah, the bird channel on YouTube.
Yeah, and it leaves something going that keeps him entertained.
I can get a cardboard cutout of myself and just put that in the living room.
You could.
Come over, I find it like knocked down. It's in his water bowl.
Oh man. Well, hopefully you won't have to go back to work.
Yes, that's the main goal.
Yes, we'll keep that goal in mind.
Exactly. So we should probably get started with the actual stitching stuff. Did you start anything this week or this past 2 weeks?
This is still, I started a knitting project, but other than that, this is still working on something already working on.
Do you want to show your knitting since it technically is a new start?
Well, yeah, it is a new start. That's true. This is a project I saw on Mountain Meadow Wool. It's called Warm Heart, and it's a cowl with hearts on it.
Oh, that's cute. Hold it up.
Holding it up, okay?
And then to your left. Perfect.
Okay.
That looks really cute. Looks cozy.
So it's this is how much I've gotten done so far.
Oh, look at you go.
This way. There you go.
Wow.
So
I
I'm really,
can't knit or crochet at all. So looking at that, I'm like, oh, that's fancy. And that looks really hard.
well, this is a lace pattern here. And then this is, this is your just, whoops, oh dear. Oh, hold on just a second here. One stitch off, wait just a minute.
Don't lose your stitches.
I know, okay, we're good. The little, thing that holds it back came off. Don't worry, I'll count them before I start again. I'm at 144 stitches. You start out with 150 something, and then you drop some. So yeah, we'll be good. We'll be good to go. I'll put that on a little tighter, but you can see what it looks like inside, because what you're doing is when you get to where you're mixing the next color in, you're carrying over your color, your threads, your yarns. You don't cut them off each time. But now I'm starting the light pink. This will be what's going on next. And that's so far I've done 2 rows.
And so will that be lacy, or is it like another?
That's going to be more hearts. So you've got 4, you've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 rows of hearts, 3 of the berry, which is this first one, the darker one, and 2 of the rose color, which is the light pink. And then the white is just your background. And then you do another bit of lace knitting for the top or bottom or whatever.
Nice.
So it's going quickly, because it really, you're pretty much, once you get into the hang of it, you've got a pattern here that's showing you how the thing does. So this is all white, and then this is your design inside. So not to be showing patterns online, got to watch that. But it's from that mountain, don't know why I never came, Mountain Meadow wool. And then yesterday I got a package in the mail from them, which I guess I could consider that haul. It's all the way in the dining room, never mind. I'll do it next time.
Next time's haul.
Yeah, next time's haul. It's got some felting, you do the knitting and then you felt it. So
interesting.
So that should be interesting, because I've only done felting once. Karen taught a class in it, and we sat there in guild meeting with this needle stabbing all of our
I heard you got to be really careful with those. Felting needles, because they have barbs on them, and it's very easy to get it in your finger, and then you don't want to get that out yourself, I don't think.
You want to care beeful with that. So anyway, so that is
not a hobby I'm going to ever introduce to my husband.
No. So that's my new start, is the cowl.
Nice. Yeah, that reminds me, the other day, for the first time ever, it wasn't my first time, but I was doing, I had an apple and I was peeling it because we were making an apple caramel cheesecake. And so I wanted the apples peeled for the top. And for the first time ever, I was using the slicer and I actually cut my nail.
Oh, no.
And I had never, ever in my life done that before. So I don't know what happened to me. I thought I was paying attention, but it took just the nail. I never started bleeding or anything. My whole finger was intact, but now my poor nail is just so short. And it was kind of funny looking, because it had 2 points and then a half moon in it.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh, that was close.
Well, as long as you didn't cut yourself.
No, I was like, well, I guess my nails needed to be trimmed, so I went and I cut the rest of them normally.
Yeah, there you go. That'll take care of that for you.
Yeah, so that's my segue with felting needles.
Okay, thank you.
So I have a new start, and it is a free Barbara Anna pattern. I think I got it off either her website or her Facebook page, Facebook group, one of those things. I'm not exactly sure which location, but it was from 2020 and it was called Light. And so it's this really pretty fox with sort of I think of this as a night guardian sort of thing, walking through town. You can see the little town at the bottom.
Yeah.
And somebody in our guild meeting was like, oh, well, that's not actually maybe that's not a good thing. Maybe she's going to eat the townsfolk. I think
Oh,
that's how the conversation went.
I think
I was like,
that's
okay, well, it's either
that's-
a night guardian or a night stalker. So, I guess it's up to your own interpretation.
let's see the key on. Did you notice the key hanging down too?
Yeah, a
There's a
lot of
key
her
up there.
patterns have that key, and I think it's really, really cool.
Yeah. Oh, I
So
think
it
it's
ties them all together.
she's too dressed up to be going to go kill somebody. She's all dressed up to come out and help folks.
Up
Give
to
them-
interpretation.
put some
Maybe people
light
would
on
say
it.
the exact opposite. She's
Yeah.
dressed up for that purpose.
Oh, well, that's true. Let me go out and kill a few folks. Yeah. Okay. It's dinner. I'm going to go get dinner.
Exactly. Maybe it's a town full of chickens. We don't know.
We don't know.
So
Lord.
I decided I was going to stitch this on a pretty fabric because, of course, I don't really do neutrals all that much.
No.
And so this is a piece of purple Be Stitch Me fabric. And this is where I've gotten to. So I have the start of her lantern, her tail, and you could start to see her eye and nose.
Her nose, yeah. And that's a very light color on your fabric too. It's not a real, I can see it more on the side. You can pick up the color up here where it's folded over.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, but that's a neat color for it as well.
Yeah, and it's not super modeled either. So I
Yeah.
think she'll really stand out on it. But
Yeah.
also, like, I think this copper looks really good with
It
the
does.
purple.
Yeah.
So I'm excited to work on this some more. I think I'll probably get to touch that more this week. I was going to work on it, and then I got distracted by my Wizard of Oz piece, which I finished. So I'll show you that in a little bit. But I was like, I really powered through that piece, and I could not put it down because I was so close. So Barbara Ann, I had to go aside, and I didn't get any farther. So then that brings us to whips. Do you
Okay.
have any works in progress?
Yep. The one you gave me for Christmas.
Oh yes, your monogamous stitch.
Yes.
Oh my goodness.
Isn't that
Wow.
something?
You've gotten so much of the lettering done.
Well, a good portion of it from here on is lettering. There's
good.
quite a bit of lettering. More pleasure at Christmas than before is what this is going to say, than
Mhm.
before or something. And then there's Joe said, what is that thing up on the side there? Because then you have the man and lady, the
Mhm.
gentleman and lady, and and it's a star. I said, oh, well, wait a minute, let me look. And it turns out it'll be a star right in here. And over here is going to be a bell with a ribbon. And then you have a whole nother border that goes in with some more of these here now, snowflakes, So I'm trying, and I still haven't done the borders down the side yet because I really wanted to go on and get into it and see what it looked like. I can do the borders, I'll get them done. But I've been enjoying it. I really have. I sit back here and watch the, trial going on up in Minnesota, and I stitch. And then at night, during Hogan's Heroes, I'm knitting. So
Well, you stitched all day, so you're tired. I get it.
yeah, I've stitched most of the day. So that's what I've been working on.
I wanted to say that that fabric looks really, really good on with that. Now that you're getting the lettering in there, like you can see the background start to pop on it, but not take over from it.
Because this color here, this is all, this is, what's the
Looks
word?
like Oscar.
I know. It's, I'll think of it and tell you. It's a spice. This brown is more of a spice, cinnamon, not cinnamon. It's something else.
Nutmeg.
No, it's not even nutmeg. I can't think now. And then the other has more of a greenish hue. The other is tarragon, and then this other, I'll go wander over to my box. So here we go, and I'm using my Christmas box. So
I like how you have your whole like little stash area right there on the
I know.
ottoman in your chair. That must make it so easy to have it right there.
Well, it is. It's kind of nice, even though that's only a small portion of stash, you know, as you know.
Oh, I
But,
get it.
that's where I work in here. And then as Joe says, there's the whole living room. And let me see, this is in here somewhere. Here it is. And it's chestnut. That's what it is.
Oh,
Chestnut,
okay.
I believe.
Yeah, I
is
don't
what
think we
that's
would have
called.
named that one if we sat here and named spices for an
No.
hour.
I know, it's chestnut. And then the other is like I say, is tarragon. So, and then the greenish blue in it that's in when you make all the little pines, that's juniper and merlot. The red is
Yeah, I
merlot.
thought the juniper was really pretty when I picked it out for you.
Yeah, thank you. You did a good job. Good job. And then I did stitch a little bit on the Beatrix Potter since our last get together, but I'm making progress with getting all the back work done. I mean, all the bottom and this one little bit, and then all I'll have is the mouse in her rocking chair. And that's going to be, because that's a few little stitches in this color and then a few little in this, but I
feel like that'll go fast for you though, because you'll be so excited to see her start to come together that you won't want to stop.
This is true. This is true. So yeah, but I really got to working on this one that you gave me and I've really enjoyed it. But I need to get the Beatrix Potter finished so I can start another piece I bought that needs those rods. I need that.
Yeah, well, I think you'll definitely have the Erica Michael piece done by Christmas.
Oh, definitely. Oh yeah. Yes. Definitely.
I can just see us like flash forward now to December. It's like, did you finish it?
It's almost.
I have the borders left to be like, oh, I get that.
I got occupied with something else, like the Gay Ann Rogers hearts I need to do too. So
Oh, I can't wait for you to start those.
I know everybody else seems to be doing pretty well with them in Guild, that's doing them. So I need to get my act together. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
So
that's
mine, oh, you got a lot done on that piece. So my next whip is my Hogwarts, and I got the full orb filled in, which you can kind of see from a distance the castle a lot more now. You can see like the big turrets, the rocks, the boats. I have to finish down here is the snow globe stand, and those are all half stitches. I probably could have gotten it done in less than an hour just doing that, but I got so sick of working on this because all of those stitches, you could see like there's so many different colors and there's a lot of blends. And I'll show you the back on this one because my husband laughed at me. Nothing is really near itself. So you have to constantly travel with them. And you'll have like the heart icon here for 2 stitches, but then you've got 7 hearts over here. And since it was full coverage, I just decided to stream across. But it's kind of difficult when you think you finished all of a color and then you're stitching on something else. You realize like, oh, there's 1 heart left over here. And then it's like, am I going to strand up for that again? Or am I just going to cover it over? And sometimes I did, and sometimes I covered it over. But because I have so much string on the back or floss in the background here, this is like very solid.
Oh, good.
So you can see like this part wiggles and this just
that just stays in place.
So that's kind of funny.
You've
and then once I
laced it.
Yeah, exactly.
Laced.
I don't have to put any interfacing on the back. It's stiff enough.
Right.
So yeah, once I finish the stand for it, there's a lot of back stitching, and it's only back stitching in black and white, but there's differences from when you use 2 strands or 1 strand, and like every window gets outlined, every rock, the boats, like there's a lot of back stitching on this. So I think because I'm annoyed with it, I'm going to put it away for a while. And then when I do pick it up again, it'll be pretty easy since it's just the half stitch and back stitch left.
Well, let me ask you
We'll get
this.
there.
Have you ever
Take a
seen,
break.
because you do things that involve a lot of colors sometimes at one time. They have things in the catalogs where you actually can put all your threads along in them, and then you have a needle for each one, and you keep it all. That way you just grab that needle because you've got your thread and that needle. But I've looked at something like that and thought, no, I don't think so. I'll just keep, you know, I just keep, sometimes I'll have two needles going. Like
Mhm.
I decided, well, I'll do two with doing the pine needles and the Merlot. And then I turned around and I just wound up doing all the pine needles all the way across, and then went back and did the little berries in them, you know.
Yeah, I mean, it's
So,
hard to change your stitching habit
yeah,
too when you
yeah.
start. You're not used to having all those different needles laid out in front of you. It's very
Mhm.
hard to switch your pattern.
Yeah.
Like people that are trying to learn hand stitching. I think Lindystitch in her last video, she was talking about it took her maybe 3 or 4 months to feel like she could actually understand hand stitching, and it didn't take her as much effort every time to do the process. So kind of like when you start with Ada and then you switch to linen, it takes you a while before that becomes second nature. So I'm sure the multiple needles could be good, but I
Well,
don't
yeah,
know if I'm ready to go through the learning curve.
'cause that's what people say about parking their needles then, because they've got so many colors going, and they'll
Mhm.
just park the one here and go down here or something. I'm like, yeah, okay. I'm
Yeah,
like you, I sometimes just work on one color and get done what I can.
exactly.
Yeah. Keep my
So
sanity.
my next piece, I got a little bit more done on the herb garden. So this is what I'm stitching for my husband. And this is by the Needle Love Company. And I think we said it was a pretty old chart. I
Mhm.
won't say very old and offend anybody. So
I think it's on their other, there somewhere. Wasn't it a 1980 something one?
I think so. Of course, now I can't find it easily. You know, I thought when I said that it was going to be right there as soon as I open it. I literally don't see it. And I definitely saw it last week because I read it to you. I don't know. So we know it's vintage. That's all. That's it.
That's Fawn's contribution to vintage.
Exactly. So I finally got, I think I told you last time the whole border was done, but then I started working on one of the flowers. And so this is margarine.
Yeah.
Is the flower.
Okay.
And so what I have to do is back stitch up through my cross stitches, and then there's a back stitch margarine that gets put on the top for the actual name.
Okay.
So that's going pretty good. That I was working on this, and then I got distracted with Barbara Anna, and then I was working Barbara Anna and got distracted by my Wizard of Oz.
Okay. She was easily distracted these past 2 weeks.
I was, until I like buckled down and did a lot of finishing, because I have 4 FFOs to show you today.
Oh, wow.
So I was distracted, and then I was not distracted. Did you have any finishes this week? No, because you're working on just your one, right?
Yes.
So then I started working on Cloud's Factory. There's no Planet B. And I finished maybe first thing this morning, the April clue.
Okay.
So we have
is it a pink octopus or?
It's an axolotl, AXOLOTL. Okay. And it's known as the Mexican walking fish, which is a type of salamander. And it's colloquially known as the walking fish, even though it's not a fish, but it's an amphibian. Okay. So it looks like it's mostly in Mexico and was around Mexico City, but now it's critically endangered.
Oh.
So there's that guy. I've seen a lot of people, I think some people have them as pets. Okay. You probably have to have a license or something, but they're trying to bring those back. And then the other guy, which you could probably guess, is the great hammerhead. And so obviously that is a shark.
Okay.
Well, I was right. So last time I talked about trying to decide how they were going to do the pattern. Was it going to be like sky, land, and water? And now we have the underwater guys. So that's really cool. And the pattern for May, because that's the next month, that will be right here. And so I think we're going to we've come down, we'll
Mhm.
go over. So the whole next couple months will be underwater, and then we
Yeah.
start working our way up and we end in the sky.
Cool.
So yeah,
So
this is a really
smart.
cute one. I
Yeah,
love it.
it is cute. I like your hammerhead
So,
shark there.
right? So that was kind of like my finish without a finish. Since I can't go on to the next month, it was kind of finished, but like kind of not finished. So then the next project that I started and finished within these 2 weeks was Lindystitch's Hedgehog. And I think it's technically Hedgehog House.
Yeah.
Still City Stitchers and Stitching Jenny, I think is her Instagram handle. They were running a stitch along with hashtag Hedgehog House Sal. And it was to stitch Lindystitch's Hedgehog House. And I finished it.
Oh, that turned out so cute, Fawn. Look at that. I saw that on Instagram, I think, or on her site or something, and that is just so cute.
Yeah, I love it. So what I did was I finished it in a tart pan following Vonna Pfeiffer's tutorial. This is my second tart pan, so I didn't really have to look at the instructions too much this time. I double checked myself once, but that was it. So very
Nice job.
pleased.
Yeah.
There's a couple mistakes in here. I miscounted on one of the sides, so it's a little squattier than it's supposed to be instead of very round, which you can kind of tell here and here. And then I also misstitched on her chest. So I think her name, what Lindy has named her, is Henrietta. So I misstitched on Henrietta's chest. So now she looks a little bit tubbier than she's supposed to, but I think she's cuter that way.
I think that's just sweet as anything. Diane would love that. She likes hedgehogs.
Oh, does she?
So cute. Yeah.
I'll have to point her in the direction of the pattern then.
Yeah. That is darling. I love the colors and I like the fabric you put it on.
Yeah, so I picked this out. I don't know if it wasn't color and cotton. It was one of my mystery fabrics.
Oh,
and of course, once again, I couldn't just pick something neutral. I had to go pretty bright. And then the size, which this was the color of the original tart pan. And somebody had suggested that I could spray paint it to get the color I wanted, but I didn't want to go to the store and get spray paint, of course. And I was also too impatient to wait to go ask my father-in-law if he had spray paint. So I got out my acrylic paint, painted it, and you can kind of see a little bit there where it's not like fully covered, but it's also pretty covered. This is with 2 coats.
Yeah.
And then it was sticking, but it wasn't like sticking super well on the tart pan itself, just the material of the tart pan. And so the paint was kind of sticky, even though I let it dry and, so I decided, okay, well, I really want to finish this. I'm tired of looking at my white empty tart pan. I want to put my stitch in it. And then of course this video was coming up. So I knew I had to get it to a point where I could do it. So I went and I got my, let's see, it's actually right here. I got my Sally Hansen top coat. And I painted just the outside edge of the tart pan with my top coat. And now it's really shiny. It's not sticky and it's not flaking at all. So if you're in a crunch and you don't want to get spray paint, an acrylic paint and a nail polish top coat totally works. And you can do it whatever color you want to. But I do recommend just spray painting it and then putting the sealant on it. I think that would be a lot easier, but it's also harder to get spray paint in all the different colors. So
well, that, and unless you really like the color of spray paint, you're going to be stuck with some of it for a long time.
Yeah, that's true.
Because you can't get little bottles of spray paint, it's all bigger. I like that. That is so cute.
Yeah.
It's
so
so
that's
cheerful.
my tip. Acrylic paint and nail polish top coat.
Sally Hansen to the rescue.
Exactly. So very pleased with that.
Are you going to just set it out, or you're not going to hang it up? You can just leave it sitting somewhere.
Yeah, I currently have it sitting by my dad's duck that I finished into a tart pan.
Yeah.
And so we'll see, once they see this video, they might be like, oh, well, you're going to bring me the hedgehog, right? So
right.
We'll see what happens. Because then my mom can have a tart pan and my dad could have a tart pan.
That's true.
So
You're a good daughter.
Yeah. So the next finish I have was courtesy of Marianne. So I forgot to show this in our last video. Yeah, you don't even remember what you did.
No.
I forgot to show this in the last video, but I made a box through the Colorway Arts Community Club, and it is cartonnage. So basically you take fabric and you glue it onto cardboard,
chipboard.
Yeah, and so exactly. So some people will try to make their way and do it with like cereal boxes, but that's not kind of thin. It's too thin. So really the chipboard is best. And Marianne had given me the kit to do it. It just didn't work out in her schedule for her to do it. So I was very excited to get this kit. And then I got to use fabric that I wanted to use for a long time. So here is my box.
Yeah.
So I love the octopus fabric. I bought like 3 yards of it when I saw it at the store. And I really want to make pillows out of it or project bags or whatever, but I love the fabric too much that I'm not confident enough in my skills for making things. So I haven't been able to use this fabric. So I was very excited to get to use it now. And then I have this green. It's not really showing on the video, but it does have like a shine to it. Oh, there you can.
Oh, I can see it. There you go.
Yeah. And so that's really cool in person. It's got a magnet, pretty strong one.
Yeah, I guess it is, isn't it?
And then
cool.
a coral in it.
Yeah.
And then I put another octopus at the bottom.
Yeah.
So this was cool. It was a lot of fun. I did it all in one night because the way the Colorway Arts, I'm going to call it club, worked was she had a free week where she posted the video so that everybody who had a kit could make this box for free. And it was going to expire like 2 days after I got my kit from Marianne. So I was like, okay, well, Friday night, this is what I'm going to do. So yeah, that was my crazy Friday night a couple weeks ago. I made a box.
Oh, there was some lady on their Facebook page that was making one as quick as she could because she luckily I think she was a member of the club, which you get a thing every month or something, and so they told her, oh no, it's still online if you're a member of the club, but she was working on it on the Monday that Monday night it was going to disappear. She was really in a hurry.
Oh yeah, that's stressful. But yeah, so I think her name is Claudia Secu or something like that. I know her first name's Claudia, and she runs the free challenge for cartonnage once a year. I don't think it's twice a year. I think it's once a year, usually towards the beginning of the year. So if you look up Colorway Arts, you should be able to find her website, and you could get on her mailing list to get to next year's free cartonnage club project. Which I figure I don't need to join her club because I don't need a new hobby where I'm stitching and I'm sewing and now I'm making boxes. So I figure it'd be fun to do it once a year. Just actually buy the kit from her. Don't try to make it yourself because it doesn't look like it, but this is its own cardboard piece. This is its own, this one. Plus you have 4 sides, the bottom. I'm pretty sure some of the sides might be glued together. Yeah. There's like pieces on the inside. You do not want to be cutting your own pieces for this box. There was like 20 different pieces. So if you ever want to do cartonnage, buy the kit and follow her method because it's awesome.
Yeah.
So then, do you want to see my Clouds Factory finish, FFO, or my Wizard of Oz?
Oh, you mean we don't get to see both?
I'll show you both, but which one do you want to see first?
Let's see the Wizard of Oz.
Okay. So I made it into a pillow. And so here's my back. It's using that same green shiny fabric. And look, I've got a fold.
I see.
Which is like, oh man.
Yeah.
I was so proud. And ta-da.
that turned out really
And
nice.
it's big, like look at it
Yeah.
compared to my head.
That's probably a 16-inch pillow form you've got it in.
It's a 14.
14.
So I cut the
okay.
fabric in a 15-inch square,
Yeah.
sewed it in, or I cut 3 pieces of fabric. This one cut to 15. Both of these cut to 15. I could have definitely done it less because there's a lot of fold, but I thought it was better to have it thicker. So I just, to make this kind of pillow, you just cut 3 pieces of fabric the exact same size, lay them like nice sides facing each other, fold the edges of each of your back pieces towards the edge. And then when you sew, it'll sew it into a flap, which I'm sure you could look up a much better description than I just gave you for how to do it, but that makes sense to me. And yeah.
Whatever works for you, whatever floats your boat. That turned out nicely.
Was the monkey, and I added Oz. Gotta try to see around it.
Yeah, just show it. Yeah, it's really pretty. It really
I added the.
Well, you had to finish the, you had to finish the hot air balloon when you were putting it together.
Yeah, exactly. And then the Good Witch,
Yeah.
Dorothy's house. There's some shoes there, some mountains. I've got some Krynic in there for shine, which the color matches almost exactly to the back, which I couldn't have planned it.
Very nice. Yeah. There's Dorothy and Toto, her dog. Very nice phone.
Yeah, so I'm super excited about it. And you should be able to see it in our videos now because it'll sit back on that couch.
Okay. She's off to see the wizard, the wonderful Wizard of Oz.
Yeah, and so I made my first reel on Instagram. So if you don't follow us at Sanctum Stitching, you're missing out because I post a lot of our stuff over there, sort of our progress before we come on here and show our progress.
Yeah.
And one of those things I did was a reel. So I shared the Wizard of Oz there and I added Somewhere Over the Rainbow song, an acoustic sort of version to this pillow. Yeah. And it was so pretty. So definitely go check us out over there and watch it.
Yeah. Somewhere over the rainbow sky.
So then
no,
I don't mean to interrupt.
On to the next project.
So then of course I'm like, oh well, I'm confident now I can make a pillow. And I have had so many pieces that I've been waiting to make into a pillow, but I didn't want to ruin them by cutting them and not being able to sew them right. So now that I can make a pillow, all you're going to see is pillows.
Okay.
So here's the next one. And I love that fabric. I got my flap again. This time it happens to be going in a different direction because I don't pay any attention. But I think I'm not sure which one I like better. Is the flap kind of over the top or over the bottom? So we'll just have to see what happens. But this is, it's not felt, but it's not like cotton either. Fleece. Oh, it's fleece from Joann's. Okay. And so the fleece, it seems to me whenever I go in there, it's a lot cheaper than the cotton fabrics. Yeah. At least they like seem to be like $2.50 a yard on sale, and they're really pretty. And I actually like that a lot better for the back of the pillow. So I finished my Grimm's Fairy Tale.
Oh my, how cool.
So you guys have seen this before, but something about it being in a pillow really makes it come all together.
Very nice.
And look at that color.
Perfect.
And it's free. Can you believe it?
I know.
That should be our screen catcher where I'm like coming out from under a pillow, just like.
That is so good. You just you have an eye for color. You really do.
I love it.
Atta girl. So that's going to be on the back there too, huh?
Oh,
We're going to have to just have one big chair that's a pillow chair. You can put them on the back of the chair, down the arms, and the seat.
It's kind of like your pink couch in your living room. So
Right.
Marianne's got this couch and it's so deep and it's got like 4 lines of stitch pillows in it and it's amazing. It looks so cozy.
Got the Westy pillows there. Yeah.
Mhm.
Roscoe, Brian, and Wolfie.
Oh my gosh. So then I have a one last finish, but I actually have to stand up to show you because it's too big.
Okay.
So do you have a guess what it is?
Oh, wait a minute now. I'm trying to think. You've been working on a piece that is so long, but I can't remember what it was now. I just know it was really long and you said it was going to take you forever, but that's probably not the piece that it is. So you better show us.
I'll just show you.
Okay, just show us.
So here is the back, which it was so big. I thought my regular pillow would fit into it, but it didn't. So I had to stuff a throw pillow on the side.
Oh, is this your forest one?
It is. Yeah.
Oh,
so we'll have to make
cool.
sure Catherine watches.
Yeah,
But
she
so that's
will.
the fabric.
Okay, how pretty.
I love it.
Yeah.
And
oh, that turned out beautifully.
I love it so much.
That's better than putting it on the wall.
Right?
Because last you and I talked, you were thinking about framing it. But that's cool.
So it says, my soul honors your soul and I'm devoted to you,
Yeah.
which is something Sean and I said in our vows, has our
Yeah.
name and our date.
Yeah.
And
Cool.
yeah.
I
And
like
so then that was something I backstitched and it says, into the forest we'll go to uphold our vows and never let go.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Very
so
nice.
very large.
Well, and you just put it up on the bed and take it down at night, you know.
Exactly. So right now I have it on, let's see. So there's our, we don't sit on this couch. This is the cat
Okay.
couch,
Yeah.
as you can see by the cat bed.
Yes.
And so I have this in the middle and then either one of those pillows on the other side of it. And it takes up the whole thing.
Yeah. And what does Wally think of you taking up his cat bedroom?
Well, he still gets the cat bed, so he's okay.
Oh, okay.
But, oh my gosh, I love it so much.
That's a good idea. You did a nice job with that.
Yeah, and it can definitely be taken apart pretty easily. Here's the two together.
Yeah.
It could be taken apart easy enough and still framed if we need to.
Yeah,
So.
if you wanted to, but I wouldn't think about that. I would just do it, keep it that way.
Exactly.
Cool. I just didn't even think about that because last we talked, you were going to frame it. You did. You framed it in a pillow form.
Exactly. Yeah, because I didn't feel like I was confident enough to stitch it into a pillow, and that one I like the Clouds Factory one I didn't want to ruin, but that one I really didn't want to ruin. And so then I made 2 pillows. I was like, okay, I can make a bigger pillow.
It's really easier than you think. You know?
Yeah, now that I've got the hang of it, I'm like, oh, why was I intimidated by a pillow? But
you've never done it before.
Exactly.
So that's why I've still got the I did get my sewing machine up onto the desk. And I got it to work. I actually practiced getting it to stitch some, and I got my zigzag stitch working again. And because now I can go on and make the flamingo pillow. I need to remember, because what I'm going to do with it is it's got a back fabric and then it comes down in the front on both sides of it. So the flamingos will be in the middle of it. And I've done a couple of pillows like that before, but it's been a while since I've done them. So I'll have to practice on something. But
yeah, I have a practice piece.
Yeah, but I was thrilled that I actually got the thing. I got it all working. It just needed to get going and stuff. And Fritzy's not happy that this sewing machine is sitting up on the desk there, which he likes to sit on at night sometimes, but he's adjusted. There's still room to sit by the door and bap at the door if he wants to get it to, drive Mama crazy before she wakes up in the morning. But anyway, yeah. But my thing is working again. Hallelujah, hallelujah.
Oh, yeah, I'm so glad because that'd be really nice to see some of your like sewing stuff that you'll make. Have some
I don't
finishes.
sew like I used to. Oh, you mean finishing things? Yeah, I need to finish my little pear. I need to get the pear done. And I have to decide what I'm going to do with, well, the Gay Ann Rogers things, I probably will finish them in some way. Probably like Diane's taught us to do some stuff or something.
A flat fold.
Well, not so much a flat fold as just filled in the back with some cording or something, and you can hang them.
Oh, okay.
Something like that. So
they might be cute tart pans.
no, I'm not going to put them in a tart pan. No, they cost too much. No, these patterns are not going in. These things are not going in a tart pan. This was an expensive endeavor. I don't know what they're going to do. Who knows? Although I love the tart pans, I think they're really a neat way to do some things. But
yeah, I never seem to like stitch things that are small to go in a tart pan. So whenever I find something that I stitch that's small enough and like 4 inches around, I get very excited.
If you can get a heart-shaped tart pan, which you probably can.
I'm sure you can.
You could put it in there. That's true. I'll have to think on that. I shouldn't say no right away. I'll have to think on that. I better get them stitched first.
True.
I'm kind of like Diane said last week, I asked about it at Stitch In, and I said, all right, do y'all take them off of the little stretcher bar and then use it again? And Diane says, I just go in and buy however many I need of the little stretcher bars, so she doesn't have to take one off and put one back on and stuff.
Yeah, no, putting the tacks in stretcher bars is no joke.
I know it's no fun. It's no fun.
But I know you said you don't have the little handle that you use to press them down, right?
Oh, I have that's right. I don't. I have just take a hammer.
Yeah, I would get them. They're really cheap. Mine came with tacks and the handle, and I want to say it was less than $10.
I know.
And it makes a huge difference.
I've got the little lift thing. I've got the one that usually comes with a batch of the things that's a lift sort of thing, but I don't have the other one that's you push on it. So
let me grab it so people know what we're talking about.
Okay.
I have it right here.
Okay.
I guess my pansy pattern will come out.
Right.
So we're talking about, if you don't know, these are stretcher bars. You can get them in any length basically that you need. And you put canvas or fabric, whatever you want to do, usually canvas on it. And you have to tack the canvas to the stretcher bars to keep it tight. And you kind of have to go around in a circle, and can be really taxing on your hands just trying to pull it, let alone trying to push these pins into the wood by yourself. So what people get and what I highly recommend, we got all of my tacks on it, is something like this, which it has a magnet. It grabs your tack, and then you can use your whole hand to press into the wood like that, instead of trying to use a hammer or use your fingers on just the tack. Yeah. And it's nice that it's magnetic.
Where did you purchase yours? Probably Hobby Lobby or something.
I think so. I think I got it somewhere locally.
You can get them there a lot less expensive than if you go to the needlework shops. Y'all didn't hear me say that.
I don't think I ordered them.
Yeah.
I really think I got it somewhere locally. So probably Hobby Lobby, because I don't think Michael's or Joann's would have it.
I think they do. Yeah.
But I'm pretty sure it was just in like the sewing section. And mine came with, let's see.
And then there's like a little lever thing that you use to pull them out.
Actually, I got mine. I'm pretty sure I got it from Island Stitchery and Studio. So this was either I just bought the tacks from her or I bought the whole kit. I really can't remember. And that's Debbie Mytech, who did the sunflower kit with us that came into Guild and taught. And so you can get it where it comes. Maybe I didn't, because it has that blue thing. But basically, embroidery places will have the tacks with just the little remover,
Right.
or you can get the tacks that come with this,
Yeah.
and then a wooden remover, which
Oh,
is also
nice.
easier to use than the little
Very
blue
good.
one.
Yeah. I'm going to have to go do that.
Yeah, check online because I'm sure they
I
would
will.
have it. And then I know they come with the tacks too.
Yeah, I will do that.
Well, that was a segue I didn't know we were going to have.
Oh, it's okay. We can segue. It's all right. It's allowed. Well, hi, Brian. Where's your brother?
So then the last thing that I have is haul. Did you get anything this week?
I did. I got,
Okay,
well, I
let you
got
go
it a
first and I
couple
can
of
take
weeks.
a
I
break.
got it not this week, but I think it was last week was the latest Inspiration magazine, the one that's
Oh, look at that front
published
photo.
in Australia. And it is just beautiful, y'all. I haven't looked through it completely. It's got some crewel work, and this is pretty. Little flowers.
Oh, look at that.
Yeah. And there I've got one here that had some Lorna Bateman things in it, and painting canvas. It had it where you could paint some of the canvas, which is what you're going to be teaching or demonstrating at our meeting tomorrow night. And
Yeah.
Laura Bateman, it was really pretty. It's like a fence with flowers and stuff. And I haven't done it yet, but I'm thinking one of these days. So, because I've got to go pick up a canvas from Christine to do the EGA project that you're going to be discussing. So that's all I had for haul.
Yeah, that's good haul.
Yeah, I know.
That magazine is gorgeous. And I know at least our local Toledo area library has a subscription to that magazine. And so if you're a local stitcher, use your library card, log on, and you can just go through the Libby app and get, they don't have all the back issues, but they have quite a few, probably like 20 or so.
Yeah.
And you can download the patterns and just have them on your computer. You can buy kits from Inspiration Studios.
Yes.
You could just get their digital patterns if you see one that you really, really like. But yeah, their magazines are nice too. The pages are not thin.
It's just
It's very good
all
quality.
around.
But if you want to check it out to see like if it's worth your time to get a subscription,
Yeah.
check your library for Inspirations magazine.
Yeah.
They really might have it. I was surprised that our library had it. And then when I saw that, I was so excited.
They also include, like, when it comes to you, it says, "Dear Posty, please don't bend me,"
Mhm.
And then like this is showing Home Sweet Home 10th anniversary edition, and that's what it would look like and stuff. And so if you want to order on the back, it's got an order form, so you can order that book. But it's just, and like Fawn says too, they also have patterns in the back usually that you can cut out and make use of. So it's and it's just beautiful to have in the house. I haven't read all of them.
It's always so nice to just sit and look through those.
Yes, it's I love it. I need to sit down with it some more, and with the other two that have come in recently, in the last few months.
Oh yeah, I know.
Yeah.
So one of the things I did was, well, actually first I'll show you my color and cotton from February 2021 came in. And so the first color is, actually, I guess neither one of them have a color name. They just say limited edition.
Oh, okay.
So this is 32 count, 13 inches by 17 inches.
Now, is it a gray or a light blue? It's a light blue. isn't it?
It's definitely gray.
Okay, definitely gray. Okay.
And so then the other one is light blue.
Whoa.
Which reminded me very much of my hedgehog.
Oh, yeah.
So that was funny. I was like, oh, well, now I have another piece of this.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe you could see the gray if I put them together.
Yes. Yeah.
So
Very good.
that was nice. I always get confused when I get gray because I'm in the color club. And so
Yeah.
then I have to mentally go through. I'm like, okay, is gray, do I consider gray a color or a neutral? I think it's a neutral, but I can see where other people would think it's a color.
Down. Come on, lie down.
We've been filming too long. Roscoe's over it.
Yeah, Roscoe's over it. They've been outside and back in again. And Fritzy's on his sewing box over there. Can you see
Oh
him
my
behind the
goodness.
chair?
Uh-huh.
He keeps shredding it, you know.
More and more every day.
He loves his sewing box.
It's so funny. So one of the things I did, I had a little bit of time off at Easter, and because we had been helping my husband's grandparents move into their house, I didn't actually get to like do anything with my Easter vacation. So then Monday came around and I was like kind of antsy about it. I was like, this is the first time I've had any time off this whole year, and I was moving boxes.
Mhm.
So my husband and I, we decided just on a whim, very last minute, to drive up to Tecumseh, and we went to Timeless Stitches, which is a needle workshop up there, and
Yeah.
it's lovely. It's so nice to walk around in. And what's also nice is they're open on Monday, because every other stitch shop around here is closed, so I think Mondays and almost Tuesdays too.
Mm.
So I was like, oh, okay, well, open on a Monday, it's divine intervention, I'm gonna go. And above Timeless Stitches, I'll get to all of like my stitchy stuff in a second, is the Quilt Patch, which Marianne always talks about is super nice. And oh man, like there was this duck quilt there that if I knew how to quilt, I would have got it and stitched it for my dad. And if I remember, I'll put a picture at the end, but it was really pretty.
I bought a flamingo quilt pattern up there one time just in case. I've never quilted, but I thought it was, Joe didn't like the colors that the quilt pattern did, but I said, well, we could always use different colors. But I just thought it was so cool because when you came off the elevator, here was this quilt with flamingos on it, you know.
Yeah, and so what really was getting me was they had all of the, like they had the bundle of fabric, they had the duck panel, they had the pattern. It was all sitting there on this little bench that like you could sit next to the pattern on. So I'm like sitting there looking at this pattern, but I couldn't justify spending over $100 on fabric. I don't know how to quilt.
Yeah, you might want to wait a little bit.
And so I sent a picture to my dad and I was like, here you go. Pretend I made it for you.
Right. Just look at the picture.
Exactly. But one of the things they had there was a donation section where the 100% of the proceeds went to a local charity. And so for $5, I got this really awesome little pouch. And you can see it's like totally quilted. It's super sturdy, like not going anywhere. And the inside is like really funky looking.
Yeah.
Let's see, trying to get the light. There you go.
Yeah.
So I just thought it was so cute. And especially since 100% of the proceeds were donated, I was like, oh, I have to get something. And this stopped me from buying $100 worth of duck quilt.
There you go.
So then back at the stitch shop, recently I showed you guys that
and one of our guild members owns that shop, y'all. Timeless Stitches is owned by one of our Needle Arts Guild members. So
exactly.
Yeah.
So this is Owl Force Embroidery 100 Owls. This is a free chart on their website if you haven't seen it yet. But I, especially since I just finished the Owl Force Embroidery Wizard of Oz piece, I was like, oh man, I have to do another one. So I got the fabric for it and all the flosses.
Oh, good.
And so this is a 16 count Ada, and it is All the Things by Mystic Fabrics. So it's got a little bit of green in there, some brown, and here are my flosses.
Oh, nice.
Which is, when you have just the DMC and like they're still in their skeins, it's kind of hard to show on the fabric. Let's see, there you go.
Very pretty.
So I think that'll work well. And I didn't order from them their actual because they hand dye their threads, their floss that you can get. And I'm too impatient to wait for that to come in. So I just got the DMC, and I did the Wizard of Oz in DMC and not their floss, and I thought it turned out great. So this should be fine. So that'll be started very soon. I think a couple people are doing a monogamous mania, doing just picking one elf force embroidery chart and then just stitching that for all of May instead of going crazy. So
Yeah.
I don't think that I'll participate in mania that way, but I'm definitely going to start that piece probably in May.
Well, and my understanding is this is the last mania. This is the
Yeah,
last May
like
mania.
the official mania,
The
because they're
official,
closing that
yeah.
Facebook group.
Yeah,
But I don't think that mania will ever go away.
probably not.
So then the next one, I've shown you guys this before, but I got the flosses for it. This is the Frogwort Year One Band Sampler by the Black Needle Society, which I just ordered their Halloween box, their 31 Days of Halloween. So excited. So I'll be able to show you guys that when it comes in. But for this, I got the flosses, and of course they're just tossed in here. Nothing's organized, because that would just, make everything too easy to show you if I had it all ready to go. I'm definitely missing some of them. So I have some DMC replacements, and the DMC, I'll show you, it just seems to really be clashing with the fancy floss colors. So I think I might have to actually wait until I find all of the fancy flosses. So I'm thinking of doing it on this, which is Haunted by Picture This Plus.
Okay.
There you go.
Whoa.
So I think they'll show up good enough in the background.
Yeah.
Won't be too distracting. But here are the DMC colors that they suggested. And you can just see, like, they're super bright. So you have that, and then you add this in. And it
You
just
might, in stitch palettes, you look at her thing too, I know. Stitch palettes. She's got a thing you can look at that shows, and so there's another person out there that does the same sort of thing, shows you 4 or 5 different variations of a DMC.
Oh yeah,
color.
that's Cody Hoover.
Yeah, and that might be what you need to look at, because it may be that number is still good, but you need, or similar, but they can show you that it gets a little deeper with this one or lighter with this one or something. So you might try to look at that, because that is a little bright all of a sudden in comparison.
Exactly. Like this will make up the umbrella, which is, so here's the umbrella. It's like kind of big when you think about it.
Yeah.
So it's just those 2 colors, which I feel like is going to clash with these.
Well, where are those in comparison to where the umbrella is?
All throughout it.
Oh, okay.
So I think I just need to order them and wait, but I can still start the pattern
you can do with
while I'm
what you've
waiting.
got.
Just
Yeah.
don't stitch the ones that I have.
Right.
And the nice thing is there's only 2 colors added for the Year 2 band sampler, which I'm going to be a part of. So hopefully I won't need to get all the new fancy floss, and I can just, if I run out, add one back in. So it'll be worth it. I just gotta, the flosses really add up when you add them to a cart and all you have is floss in there, but it's like a Gentle Arts floss, and then it's almost $3 a piece or whatever, and you're like, oh. They make a difference, but they add up.
Well, you might check with Craft Gallery. They might have some of what you need.
Yeah, so then that's kind of where I'm at. I'm like, oh, do I just drive down to Craft Gallery and go get them there? Or is that more dangerous than ordering the flosses online and just ordering the floss and then like a chart to travel with it?
Yeah, good point. Good point. Yeah.
So we'll see. Maybe this weekend I'll just be like, oh, I'm just going to go get some floss. And then 2 weeks from now in a video, I'll be like, brand new haul again.
Yeah. Never know.
Exactly. So then I picked up a bunch of little charts, of course. First one was Mill Hill Autumn Harvest. And so this has a gravestone with a moon and two little ravens. I can never resist a cute Mill Hill kit. Even though I don't stitch them very often, I seem to be collecting them.
Uh-huh.
I got Tiny Modernist Mermaid Garden. This is one of her newest releases from Expo this year. And I think I'm going to change her hair and make it brown so it's more similar to me.
Yeah. Look like you floating around the ocean there.
Exactly. I got Plum Street Samplers Eat Crow. This one just made us laugh.
Oh, cute.
Let's see. There we go. I love how he's got a little crown on.
This one I've had in my 1, 2, 3 stitch wish list for a long time, so I had to pick it up. It's The Witch's Brew by Brenda Gervais.
Oh, okay.
So she's holding a coffee cup in a coffee cup with the pumpkin that looks like the snowman pumpkin that I had stitched up. So, oh, look at that, a little pillow.
Yeah. Another one.
This one is my husband's chart, and this is Plum Street Samplers Teenie Weenie.
And
Oh,
it
cute.
is 3 Dachshunds. You can see the little one up here.
Yeah.
They're all centered around a bunch of different fire hydrants, and he wouldn't stop laughing.
Yep. Yep.
So I was like, okay, that's your chart. Oh, there you go. So
Very
that's a
nice.
cute one. And then we got the 2 hands-on design block parties. So my husband is going to stitch Woof, which is the puppies.
Yeah.
And here's some of the floss and the top fabric. And I'm going to stitch the meow. So the kitties.
Oh, cute.
And what's nice about these is they use most of the same flosses, and for most of them you only need one skein to do both of them. So those colors will be nice. I got the
Never
buttons
seen
for
that.
the top.
I've never seen those before. Those are cute.
Yeah, she's got a bunch of different block parties now.
Oh, okay.
And so there's like a Halloween one, there's a sheep one. I think there might be like a 4th of July one, maybe. Don't quote me on that one. I'm not positive. But you can get these little button packs, which the button packs are very expensive.
Yeah.
But when you see it like this, you can't not get the button pack.
Well, that's up at Denise's, right? I mean, that's at Timeless Stitches.
Yeah, so you can order these on 1, 2, 3 Stitch. I've had them on my wish list for a while.
Yeah. Oh, okay.
But I did find them up there, and because I found them in person, I was like, oh well,
Yeah.
darn.
Well, the reason
Plus-
I'm asking is I have a gift certificate that was given to me at Christmas, plus I still have some left from the gift certificate the Guild gave.
I know, I thought about that when we were driving up there, and I was like, oh, I should have brought Marianne, but we decided, and within like 20 minutes had gotten in the car and
That's
went.
okay. Don't worry about it. Don't worry about that.
So I'll just have to make another trip.
Yeah.
And we got the fabric to do that, and we just kind of picked one that looked good. She didn't have the actual one we needed, and so we're gonna do it on this like light cream color, so it'll brighten it up even more than the photo.
Yeah, that'll be nice.
So that'll be fun. One day we'll find a weekend and call it a date night and start our stitchy projects together.
There you go.
And then the last 2 things I got were needlepoint. So the first one is Dreaming of Spring, which actually let me take it out because it's just too pretty.
Yeah. You haven't done needlepoint in a while.
That's because I'm stuck on that pansy kit. I messed up one of the spots on it, and I can't figure out quite where it is. And it's like starting to throw things off just a little bit.
Yeah.
And so then it stresses me out. And because it stressed me out, I haven't been able to work on it.
Yeah.
But I also don't want to start another like canvas kit until I get that one finished.
Yeah. I know.
So I'm stuck where I'm just in a perpetual loop of I can't start anything, but I want to start something because I don't want to work on that one.
Right.
So this is Dreaming of Spring.
Mhm.
Got these beautiful little robins all the way around. And this is by From Nancy's Needle,
Yeah.
which I was so surprised. In her back room at Timeless Stitches, she's got a whole rack and she's probably got 50 different patterns of these needlepoint ones.
Oh,
And on the one whole wall is filled with all of the completed ones. And when
mhm.
you look at them in person, it's just so pretty because these photos don't do it justice at all. And these are some of the colors. She didn't have all of them, but at least
Oh,
enough
pretty.
to get started.
Yeah.
I think a lot of them that I have to get still are pearl cotton and another strawberry. And mono canvas, if you've never seen it,
Mhm.
rolls up. And that's why you need your stretcher bars, because if you try to stitch on this in hand or try to put in a hoop, it's gonna bend and get messed up.
Mhm.
And also if you're pulling on this and you don't have it already in tension, it's gonna misshape your whole canvas. I've got a pile growing on this side of the screen, my goodness. And so then the very last piece I got was another canvas piece from Nancy's Needle. And it is Crows in the Corn.
Oh, yeah, I've seen that up there, I think.
So the color blue, the black crows, it's just very me. I could not pass that one up. And I saw it on the wall stitched, and then I went over to the rack, and it was the very last pattern. I went through every single one, which is how I found the robins. And I was like, oh no, she doesn't have it. And it was the very last one I pulled out. I was like, oh, okay. Because I'm pretty sure I think this might be discontinued because I've been on
Probably.
Nancy's Needle site a lot and I've never seen this.
Mhm.
So then I was very stressed that I wasn't going to get to do it, but it's here, so it's okay. And here are some of the flosses for that.
Oh, those are pretty.
So both of the kits that I just showed, the shiny ones are Snow by Karen watercolors,
Mhm.
or by Karen. And then the ones with the green tags are watercolors, and they're more of like a pearl cotton type feel.
Yeah.
Whereas the Snow is polyester with polyester filament. You can
Mhm.
really see the difference between the two of those. So yeah, that's
Very nice.
all I got. Which is why needing more floss, it's like really dangerous to go down to craft gallery.
Yeah, I think so.
You know how
I
it
think
goes.
so.
Those patterns
Yes.
add up, and then the fancy flosses add up, and then you spend way more than you thought you were going to spend, and
Oh,
you're
yeah.
like, oh, I'm annexed from a stitch shop for a couple months. My bad.
Yep. Yeah. No going to stitching shops. Gotta do some of it. Gotta save some money to do it. So
Yeah,
much for your what is it? So much for the check they sent out.
Oh, I know. My stimulus, yeah.
Your stimulus
Well,
checks.
you know, I look at cross stitch though as it like definitely keeps me busy. I
Mhm.
listen to a lot more books because I'm stitching, or because my husband stitches. We talk a lot while we're doing it. So, you know, it's just, it's quality time.
I agree. I agree wholeheartedly. Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
All right. Well, I don't have anything else, thankfully.
Well, I pulled out just a little vintage today.
Oh, yes. Perfect.
Just a little. I don't know. This was in one of my drawers in the chest of drawers there. It's a Savannah Gardens, and it smells good. And it's, you could put it into it's a sachet. And I
Hold it up just a little bit.
Yeah. Oh, I'm sorry. See, and then it's sachet. I've
Oh,
had
that's
it
pretty.
for I can't tell you how many years, and it still smells good. So it's in with
Isn't that wild?
yeah, it's in with it's actually like a potpourri is what it would be. And I use it as a sachet in the drawer. I don't know, it looks like it's been bent somehow. Probably a cat got to it at one point. And then Jill gave me this years ago to take on trips or something. It's what women many years, and this is all satin, and it's got the teeny tiny little flowers on it. Can you see them?
Hold it up and to your left. Up higher.
There. Oh, I see. I don't know why I think it's. I'm looking at me. Okay, here we go. See the teeny tiny little flowers
Yes.
right here, and then
Wow.
it's stitched just to give it some oomph. And it's
Yeah.
where you could put your stockings
Oh, okay.
when you were traveling, when women wore hose that were,
Oh, that's why it would want to be satin so they don't rip or
Yeah.
catch on.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
or you could use it, for handkerchiefs or something else in there, but maybe
You could
some
use it as a project bag now.
yeah, oh yeah, or some underwear maybe, because it is deep. But this
Yeah.
would be what ladies would have put their hose in, which was usually in the really older days. Your hose were made of silk, and and then during World War II, women were using eyebrow pencils to draw. Well, they were nylon. Some were silk and some were nylon, but you couldn't get nylon hose during World War II, I've been told. I wasn't alive then. And so they would use an eyebrow pencil and draw a line up the back of their legs,
Oh my
because
gosh.
hose you always had that seam up the back of your leg. But it's got a little tie so you can tie it, and then
Yeah.
you put that in your suitcase. So that's my
Wow.
vintage, the potpourri that I use like sachet, and the little thing with the teeny tiny little embroidery. They're just so cute.
Wow. Yeah, now you have to use that as a floss bag.
I don't think so. No. I may be, but I don't think it would still be in any good shape. If Fritzy discovered it, I'd be in big trouble just with me.
Oh, well, don't put it in your sewing box.
Oh, I wouldn't. No. That's not a bad idea, really, though. It would be pretty to just have something in it that it feels so good. So
Yeah,
soft.
you can see it shine. It looks
Yeah,
really
and
nice.
it's slightly padded, inside you can feel it, but in here. So I don't know, maybe someday I'll send it to Lily. She can put some gloves in it or some handkerchiefs. I told my sister, she said she wants to show Lily about handkerchiefs, because my sister carries a fresh handkerchief every day. And so she was going to show Lily. And I said, well, I've got one I was going to do for Lily, put her initial on one. And I've got some others I can send, and maybe I could send them in this to a 4-year-old. Yeah, just what I
Oh,
need.
yeah, that's what I'm thinking about. You don't want to put your floss in it, but you want to send
Yeah,
that bag to
maybe
a
I'll just put
4-year-old.
some of my fancy floss in it. That's not a bad idea. So that's my vintage for today, and I'll send you a picture of that. So
Yeah, that reminds me of my grandma. You would never ever see her without a tissue tucked in her sleeve. She
yeah,
always had long sleeve shirts on and then a tissue tucked in there, no
Yeah.
matter what.
yeah. Well, I grew up with, you have a handkerchief, and my sister will carry it in her pocket sometimes, and you let it hang out just a little bit to show. Or if when you were going out in the evenings or something, you always changed purses. I mean, I can't tell you how many times I had purses that went with shoes and now I don't change purses much. But to dress it up, you'd have a nicer handkerchief with just a little bit of it hanging out to show it off, with lace or something like that, or
Nice.
embroidery. Yeah. Yeah. Now I carry one of my grandfather's handkerchiefs, or my daddy's, just a plain old white handkerchief, and I stick that in my purse.
You're like, I'm covered. I got it.
Yep, I've got it. So that's all I have.
Yeah.
That's vintage.
So on
But
that
I
note,
understand, I think Sunday was National Dog Day. I think it was Sunday. So I thought I'd wear my Westie and Westie and little terrier sweater.
it's even got the right color collar.
Yeah, in honor of my clean dogs, they're clean. So there we go. That's all. That's all from this part of the world here.
And started it with clean dogs and ending it with clean dogs.
Yep. Thanks.
So on that note, we will see you guys in 2 weeks. We're so happy that you joined us for this episode of our stitching.
Yeah.
Like I said, follow us on Instagram at Sanctum Stitching. Like this video, share it with your friends if you had a good time, and we'll see you soon.
Happy spring. Bye-bye, y'all.
Oh my
What's
gosh.
happening at Phone's house? Well, we have the attack of the cat hair.
Well, yeah, so just have a conversation. Cat hair falls from the
Falls
ceiling.
in your face. What the heck? Well, I don't know.
Oh, my husband would lose it. He'd be like, "We have to dust."